I'm gonna
Well,
thumbs it down.
really? That's how we're going to start the live broadcast today. Welcome to Squawk Radio, guys. And
It already fucking sucks.
well, that is an awesome intro. That is probably one of the best intros I've ever heard. And yeah, so yeah, this is going to be cool as fuck. Why is my phone sound so fucking loud? Shush. All right. So, what are we here to do? What's going on? Does anybody know?
We're talking about aliens and UFOs.
Who's running the shit show? Oh, aliens and UFOs, our favorite topic. Woody's favorite topic. Woody, what's your deal on aliens and UFOs?
You're an alien.
So true.
Hey man, aren't we all?
No,
I'm part of the human race, sir. I don't know what great kind of shit you're a part of.
Are you sure?
Sometimes I think he's a lizard man, so
he is.
Ooh, I am the lizard king. I can do anything.
Oh no, I didn't say king. Lizard
Hey.
man. What?
Oh, you said man, not man. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I gotta work my way at the ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okie dokie. We still know where we stand. So, have you guys seen any UFOs recently?
Like personally seen?
Yeah,
any
personally.
UFOs?
Yeah, personally.
No, but no.
No, never. You've never seen a UFO?
You said
man.
recently.
Well, I mean, I've within the last few years, there's been stories that there's been UFOs in the area. People snap videos and lights and stuff like that where I'm at. But I've never gone outside and been like, oh look, there's a UFO right there.
You haven't been driving along and all of a sudden UFO just rocks up and goes knock knock on your window and nothing like that.
Yeah, no, man.
Nothing weird like that. No, I think the only encounter I had was a green fireball in the sky, and that was probably a meteorite. So
a green fireball.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
how cool was that? It was green. My favorite color.
Mm-hmm. You're probably hallucinating.
Yeah, I probably was. I was pretty high at the time. But hey.
I tells you.
I tells you. So you got any interesting stories for us?
All I know is after this is over, I think I'm gonna go watch Paul because that movie cracks me up.
You're gonna go watch Paul?
Yeah, because I feel like just talking about this, I can't help but think about that movie, and now I'm like, okay, I think I hope it's on Netflix or something. So,
well, a lot of movies have gone through my head recently, like E.T. and just recently Little Shop of Horrors and
E.T.
Yeah.
Out of all the cool alien movies you could have fucking said, you're like, oh, E.T. Are you serious?
I'm just starting. Just starting.
The first alien movie that popped in my head was Fire in the Sky. That's an awesome movie.
Well, I was a kid when I was an ET. I was a kid when ET came out. So yeah.
Not Mars Attacks.
Hey.
I said not Mars Attacks.
Oh,
no, I was thinking more Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm more of that era. Close Encounters and The Abyss. Stuff like that.
You were not a kid when E.T. came out. You were 28 years old. Just
so true.
I'm just an old man.
As soon as I told my husband what we were going to be talking about tonight, he had brought up sightings because he said to me, he was like, yeah, he goes, I think everybody's seen a UFO. I was like, I don't know if I have. I mean, I've seen things and been like, I don't know if that's a star or something else. But he said that he remembers clear as day seeing one before, in the middle of nowhere, they were in a field in a car and something was hovering above him and his friends in this car. And he said it took off really fast and it was just bizarre. And I was like, I never had any kind of experience like that. And I don't know where I even would have questioned it and been like, was that an alien or was that a UFO? The closest I ever got was probably just seeing something twinkle in the distance and be like, oh, could that be? But that's it.
Yeah. I
But
think
then he immediately brought up that movie, The Fourth Kind, and that movie is so freaky to me because, like, you know, they say it's based on some true stories, events, whatever, but like the idea that I forgot to mention too. The reason he says I haven't seen anything is because they erased my memory.
oh right, yes.
So
That
I
reminds
was
me
like,
of the
yes.
Forgotten.
The is that a movie? I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, that's a movie where they two people just remember that their children, that they had children, or they had different lives, or they're missing things. They're missing their husband or their wife or their a child, and they figure it out that aliens are like messing with everyone's lives, and just seeing whether they could mess with them. It was just really weird movie. Great movie. I can't remember who was in it.
Have you heard about the let's see, what movie is that? I just looked it up. Captive State with John Goodman. I haven't even seen the trailer on it yet, but I like John Goodman, so I would be open to seeing that. I guess that just came out, I want to say the middle of March, but I don't know anybody that has seen it.
Nice.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I need to check it out.
Yeah, that'd be a good movie to watch. That and Aliens Awakening. Oh my god, did you see the trailer for that? That looks sick.
Is that an Australian film?
From the left wing comes Woody. Home run.
No, I'm done with Australian films, man.
Dude,
I saw one on Netflix.
I said Aliens.
Is that what it's called?
Aliens Awakening. It's got Sigourney Weaver in it, man. The original.
They're not gonna make that fucking movie.
Really? You haven't seen the trailer for it? Was that a fan-made trailer that I watched?
Probably.
There's probably a fan-made trailer that you watch and you're like,
come on.
It's real.
I haven't heard anything on it, but it doesn't mean it's not true. I would have to look that up. But speaking of Alien, are you aware that Disney now owns Alien and Predator?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought was going on. I thought that's what we discussed earlier in the week, that Disney was taking on Aliens, and they'd have to take on Predator as well because that was a part of the franchise and all that sort of stuff. Oh no!
I just don't like the fact that Disney is pretty much taking over everything. I mean,
I don't think anybody's liking Disney at the moment. They're not in anyone's good books right now.
Well, maybe Disney is aliens.
Hey man,
it comes full circle.
Well, those big ears and that Mickey Mouse. I mean, you could be an alien. Ducks talking, mice talking, and all that sort of shit. Man, they could be aliens.
Okay, so I did a quick Google on that Alien Awakening. It looks like there's people questioning if this is being worked on, but
okay, right.
They were supposed to but supposedly last I heard is that James Cameron, or I don't know who the hell was supposed to direct it, kind of said no.
Really? No, it's Ridley Scott, dude.
Whoever, one of those fuckers.
Who gives a fuck, man? They're just directors. Who gives a shit? But like James Cameron, comes out with some really good movies, man. Like Avatar.
I mean, don't you just think it would be weird that Disney rebooting the Alien franchise? Don't you think that'd be kind of odd?
Well, I don't think they're rebooting. I think they're carrying on from because Sigourney Weaver was still young enough to.
I mean, because look what they did with the Star Wars franchise. They turned that to a big pile of poop.
Well, yeah. I mean,
not the track record isn't a good one.
Not to piss on anyone's parade, but it wasn't really that greatness to start with.
I think Walt Disney is in a cryo chamber somewhere, and his head is plugged into all these wires, and floating in water, and he is controlling Disney that way. That's just what I think. Like
the little heads in Futurama.
Yep, that's Walt Disney right there.
All right. That's you should have brought that up last week in the conspiracy theory segment we did.
Whatever. He's an alien, man.
He's an alien. Do you reckon he lives on the dark side of the moon?
Yeah.
You
With your
think he
aunt
could?
and your uncle.
With my aunt and
And
uncle?
Mrs. Finch.
Mrs. Finch. There is no Mrs. Finch. I wish there was a Mrs. Finch, but there isn't. But we won't
I
get into that.
don't think you really miss there was or wish there was a Mrs.
No.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
you're
any.
content on your own.
I don't think any sane man does. But anyway, back on topic.
Wow.
Damn.
I'll just be leaving now.
So, have you all heard of the Skinwalker Ranch?
French?
What is that?
Okay, look, I'm going to read some. It's like a pretty popular place in the Utah area known for aliens and UFOs. So, check it out.
Do they serve good breakfast?
I don't even know what they do there now. But, okay, so in 94, the ranch became well known when Terry and Gwen Sherman and their children purchased the property only to be driven from the home after 2 years of increasingly terrifying paranormal events. So they're pretty much saying when the family moved in, they found deadbolts on the doors and windows. Some of the doors and windows had deadbolts on both the inside and outside. They also found large chains that looked like they may be for the purpose of restraining a heavy animal, which is crazy. So when they lived on the ranch, the family experienced multiple cattle mutilations, crop circles, hearing voices, calling from nowhere, inanimate, fucking flying objects moving before their eyes, UFOs, and seeing strange birds and other animals in the property. So, this is actually like a pretty cool story that I heard on that property. So they're saying that they saw a wolf attacking one of their cattle, that they shot the wolf multiple times with a handgun, and the wolf did not react to the gunshots and at all. So, and appeared unharmed while it continued to attack the cattle. Even after being shot 6 times, the wolf ran off and eventually vanished. So it's pretty crazy. So they said that they've seen stadium type football lights hovering above their home. They saw a UFO larger than 2 football fields with alien figures appearing over 7 feet tall. In 2 years, the 2 years they were there, they lost 20% of their herd to cattle mutilation. And in 96, the family just bounced. Like, they just fucking took off. They just couldn't deal with it anymore. And that was that.
That is some crazy shit, man.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah,
I feel like all that crop dusting got to them.
I reckon. All that crap dusting, coal dusting. But
I don't know. That's the first thing I think.
I could explain the wolf easily.
They're a bad shot?
No.
No.
Obviously,
you didn't hit them. That's how I feel.
Transformers. They're just Transformers.
Right?
They're like alien robots from another distant galaxy or some shit. I don't know. It's a good movie, apparently.
Well, don't you think if they shot it, they would be like, that made a ting sound?
Ting, ting, ting. Hey, he could have been a more advanced Transformer with a shield, and they could be like, woo, woo, instead of a ting, ting sound.
I'm going with less drugs, more target practice, but I don't know.
Well, supposedly they said that like land is, it's like cursed, because it borders. Well, I mean, obviously that's all Indian reservation territory, I'm assuming. And so they're like the Native Americans pretty much refer to it as the Skinwalker Ranch because they say that the territory is fertile with skinwalkers. That they think they're like powerful spirits that are there, because that they're there because of a curse that was put on them generations ago by like Navajos, and that the center of the whole legend is like the ranch. So they say that again, that it's the path of the skinwalker, that a lot of the tribe members are strictly forbidden from setting foot on the property. And I know I saw like a few documentaries on that ranch where they had a few I guess people from the nearby like tribes kind of educate people coming in as to what the land is, and right when they were getting closer to the ranch, they couldn't I guess set foot on it because it was I guess like a big no for them, like for their beliefs or something based on how cursed it is. I don't know.
Wow.
It's pretty nuts. And
Well, it's
supposedly there's like
understandable because
yeah,
Native Americans are pretty spiritual, anyways.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and supposedly there's a lot of evidence with a lot of different things people have seen. I even think
I was gonna say, has anybody corroborated like any of their stories?
yeah, well, I know they said there's so many documentaries and so many different sightings and so many different things that people have seen, and they said that in '96, a billionaire Robert Bigelow or Bigelow, I don't know how to pronounce his name, that he owns like Budget Suites. He bought the ranch for 200K, and he made it like he made it the home like of a paranormal research group. I think it's called the National Institute for Science or Discovery of Science, something like that. They were there since 2004. And then it was changed to something Aerospace Advanced Space Studies. Then in 2007, a secret unclassified government program, the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, they started investigating UFOs through there. And supposedly they had, like, from what I read, they had a crazy budget. Like, the government gave them like a $22 million budget to study all the craziness that was going on in that ranch. So I don't know. It's kind of like odd. Like, if the government and everybody thought it was BS, why fund so much money there, like into research?
Exactly. I mean, are they going to send the Space Force in there as well?
That's Donald Trump, man.
So
Can't
I had
fuck
to
with
throw,
this Space Force.
I had to throw in something fucking silly in there.
Well, he'll
But I don't know.
probably
It's just
just
kind of
put a
weird.
wall around it.
Let's put a wall around the ranch.
Around it, and that'll solve all our problems. The aliens won't come in anymore.
No, they're going to need a dome, not a wall.
But I mean, but why do you think the
That was a
government
terrible
would
TV
fund
show.
so much money though into something that they discredit? Oh, there's no UFOs, there's no nothing, but yet, oh, here's 22 million to study that area and see what's up.
Maybe it was just the Earth farting like in last episode, a gas leak, and they had to cover it up.
Maybe.
I don't know. You just don't know.
Possible.
The Earth likes to let off some steam every now and then.
Or maybe it's just really convenient that nobody wants to be anywhere around there. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
and then, of course, if you're like near a reservation, I mean, you probably aren't really going to experience too many people who are just trying to come there just to come there. Or I mean, like, as opposed to just at like all, maybe, because I assume this is in the middle of nowhere versus like a populated area. Like, at least a lot of the reservations where I live are, there's not a lot of population there in general.
Yeah.
So it's a nice secluded area.
Weird thing is too is, yeah, it's a secluded area, but they said that not too, maybe like a good distance away, not too far. There's like a nuclear power plant supposedly, other things in that area. So they're saying that in a lot of these plants that they notice, that's where it's the most activity. That supposedly the UFOs, that's like their source of fuel. So they fly by in those areas to kind of like get whatever from there to refuel, and they like take off or stick around or some shit like that. I don't know. There's like all these different theories on it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, there's been sightings from pilots and police officers and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, like, how can you hide such a big thing? And how many stars are out there? How many millions of suns are out there that are just giving life to planets?
Well, it's like they say, man. Sometimes they put the shit out right in front of you. Like,
yeah.
Then it's
right.
Like, oh, look at me. This is the truth. It's there. But everybody's like, oh no, that is so that's not possible. It's like fucking everything to prove otherwise is there. but yet people choose not to accept it or see it. Like, if,
Yeah,
like, let's just say there are really aliens, and like they've been living here and all this bullshit, and the government's been hiding it up well, you know. And you think if they disclose that information, like me, I wouldn't give two shits. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, there's aliens, whatever. But you know,
yeah.
there's some people that'll probably like lose their shit.
Oh, wow, yeah, of course. Well, they
Well,
wouldn't
they
lose their
know that
shit.
they
They go around
have
stealing shit.
they
You
know that
know?
they have a social responsibility too to be very careful with what they do and don't report and how they go about it, because you don't want to cause this mass frenzy either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a thing, you know. The mass frenzy would include all religions. It'd be all these people questioning their faith. Like, holy shit, we're not alone.
Yeah, dude, not even that. Like, I think, well, that's another topic, but religion, I think, is just so full of shit.
Yeah, well, we didn't really want to go there, but I just like, you know, like all those people would be affected, and that would be, you know, part of the holy shit effect. You know, the everyone going panicking.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and I
questioning
think it's
their
pretty
own lives.
stupid that out of how big the universe and all these galaxies and other planets that could possibly hold life, you know, I think it's pretty dumb to think that we are the only people in existence throughout the whole universe. I mean, come on, we're not
Oh
that
wait,
fucking
no, no,
special.
no. Let me correct you all. I'm the only one in existence because the world revolves around me. Thank you. I feel like we
Well,
know a lot of people like that, right?
I don't know how the world can revolve around you because it's flat.
Oh God.
Jesus.
I don't know what it's like for Australia, but I do have an article that it looks like it's been talked about in a few different places online, regarding the states that have the most UFO sightings per capita, I guess. And I found the top 10. Now, this was like as of last summer. So this may have changed, but I assume that this probably stays relatively the same, because I don't know why that would be, but like one article said that the top state was like California, but this article says Vermont. Um,
Okay.
I don't know why, but so of the 10 that are listed, it's Vermont, Oregon, whatever.
Oregon.
Uh, Washington, Maine, New Hampshire, Arizona, New Mexico, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. Now, I don't think that any of those are like shocking, but there was a different one that I saw that specifically mentioned Florida and California. And so I don't know where these like, I don't know how they're figuring, who has the most, and why it's varying from article to article. But that was the one that I just pulled up tonight. Whereas like the article I found last week was, or earlier this week when I was trying to do some of my research, it mentioned entirely different states. So it's like, who knows who's actually compiling the data.
Yeah.
But, I sort of wonder what makes some states
More
supposedly see
susceptible.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why that is. I don't know.
Well, it could be just reporting. It could be just, you know, timing and what sort of stuff. There's like so many variables and things like that. I mean, was Ohio included in that? Because I know there's an alien in Ohio. We all know there's an alien in Ohio. Cincinnati, to be precise.
I feel like you're trying to take the attention away from yourself, but
Yeah.
Hey man, we've seen how many eyes this person has.
No, we've seen how their eyes are weird, huh?
How many sunglasses this person needs to get around.
Well, nobody knows who you're talking about, so
exactly,
just us.
Yeah, that's it. Inside joke, guys. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to figure that one out. That's a riddle for you guys.
So,
Turd.
but like, what would make certain areas?
I have no idea. I mean, like same with the crop circles and stuff like that. I mean, like, what makes certain farms more susceptible to having formations done on their land. Like, and are they real? Do you believe that, you know, these are man-made or made by something else?
I don't know, because some of the people that have studied them, again, they've said that based on how the fields like are pressed or whatever, that it was like there was no way a person would be able to go and do that, like in fucking like, oh, tonight it's fine, and then tomorrow morning, it's like, what the hell happened? You know, how could a couple of people do that? Or even if they had machinery to do that, how could nobody hear it? You know, that's just what's odd. But I know in some places they say that those places are very, very active because they've been active for fucking so many years. Going back to, I don't know, like Egypt or the Mayans or whoever, when you see like all these buildings they like, I guess, built there, and like all these fucking statues and drawings pyramids, and shit. Sphinxes. It's like, how do they all depict, you know, people in spacesuits, like, you know, flying ships, like stuff they shouldn't even know, I guess, exist, you know, at that time, since if they're claiming that at that time the human race wasn't as technology savvy and this and this and that. It's like, so then why are these people fucking drawing spacesuits and ships and, you know, flying objects and all this stuff?
You know, that's where, well, apparently chariots of fire came from. Because back then they didn't know the word for UFO or spaceships. So all they knew were chariots. And then, you know, this chariot comes, you know, through the sky in a ball of flames, and like a UFO probably would, you know, enter the atmosphere, and they call it chariots of fire. I mean, I don't know.
Does that make Katniss Everdeen an alien?
Definitely. Have you seen her aim? She's using aimbot, or she's an alien. One of the two.
I'm just saying. You know, there's maps that can show you like the UFO sightings, and like I found an old one. It was from 2008 to 2009, over a year span, and it looks to me like the majority of the sightings that they like pinpointed on. Now this is for the U.S. sticky. The majority of them seem like they're around the perimeter, like, you know, just coastal. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but it just seemed like it was more heavily populated in those areas. It was throughout, like dotted all over the U.S., but it just seems like, especially on the East Coast, it was like really lined up. Like the whole coast, it just seemed like a majority of those dots were just right all down the coast. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't really know.
Is there a larger population on the East Coast than the West Coast? Like that's another thing you've got to take into account. Like more eyes on the sky.
I don't know. Good
more
question.
people with tinfoil hats. You know, just so many variables. I mean, like, it's interesting. I can't even speak.
Yes, it is. So, going back to like the whole, let's say, like aliens living among us. You know how everybody's saying that, you know, they put it out there in interviews and this and this and that, but yet we tend to not really pay attention to what was said. So here's like a pretty cool fact. So Canadian Defense Minister Paul Heller, aliens, this is what he said. Aliens of 80 different types are living amongst humans, of which 3 types are most common. The first type is tall whites, who are working with U.S. Air Force in Area 51 of Nevada. The second type is short grays, who have very slim legs and arms and are about 5 feet high. The last type is a group of Nordic blondes and look like someone from Denmark or other European country. This came from the Canadian Defense Minister Paul Hellyer when he did an interview. And then they also have the Russian Prime Minister Dmitry, I can't pronounce his last name, made a comment during an interview that alien visitations have been happening since many days and aliens are pretty much living among humans. He denied giving any count on this, as that would cause panic amongst the people. But that's what he had to say.
So that's pretty much admitting everyone. So we should just call ourselves aliens and be
but
done.
The crazy thing is, though, is they have like there's all these interviews by all these people from certain different types of governments acknowledging this, and yet nobody's like, did you just not hear what he fucking said? Like,
has it ever occurred to anyone that we are the aliens?
Well, we do inherit like 98% DNA of the chimpanzee. So,
well, but
that other 2% is alien.
I suppose some people could, depending on your religious beliefs. I mean, maybe that's where we came from.
If I'm an alien, why can't I build a rocket ship to get the fuck out of here?
Nobody said you had to be smart to be an alien.
You're one of the dumb aliens.
Oh, come on, yeah.
So, and this is the one that's always like fascinated me.
They dropped us off here because we were the stupid ones.
Those dumb little earthlings.
We're the rejects.
Oh, we're the Danny DeVito to the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They're like, look at them multiply.
We're the crap leftover. Oh dear. They took the Nordic.
This story is always like this one fascinates me because what you never know. So Phil Schneider, a former U.S. government geologist and engineer, he stated that there is an underground base in near Dulce in New Mexico, which has 7 levels, which each level being the home for various types of alien experimentations. This underground base that is infamous as the Dulce base houses many aliens who are living among humans and carrying out pretty much different experimentations on the species. Now, this I have heard before, that they do have various different levels of this in that area, that it's supposedly it's hard to get near it. Obviously, if you do, you're threatened to be shot and all this crap. And I don't know, it's pretty crazy. Like, do you think that would be possible?
Do we know what the experimentation levels are?
No. Mm-mm.
What, no nipple clamps?
Well, I don't know.
Your fetishes and the alien experimentation levels are probably not the same. Then again, you are an alien, right? So maybe we're wrong.
But, you're talking about greys and all that sort of stuff. There's no green aliens. What happened to the green ones?
They're fake, man. They're not real.
And what about Alf? The alien life form.
Dude, I don't even know what that show is because I wasn't 37 years old when that debuted. I wasn't even born yet.
Oh,
so
I can. Sorry.
Wait, I know that show.
I keep forgetting that Woody's a young whippersnapper.
I mean, he's not that much younger than me. How come I know it?
I don't know. Maybe reruns?
Jeez.
I don't know. Do you remember movies like Flight of the Navigator?
No.
Oh, come on, guys.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Navigator,
no. I remember Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh God. Wait. What's the other one? So your mum's an alien or something? So I married an alien?
Oh wait. God, what's that movie with the one where it has like the pods in the pool? I forget.
Oh, Cocoon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was cool. That was really cool. I like that.
Finch looks like one of those old people in Cocoon.
That was yeah.
I can't remember the name of the character, but he does look like one.
Yeah.
One of you was saying this earlier this week, and I don't remember which one, that somebody claimed that UFOs were time machines from the future.
Oh yeah, I've seen I don't know, it was a movie or a TV show where they second guessed that as one of the theories. Could UFOs be us from the future? You know, and
I mean, if there could be UFOs, there could be time machines from the future, right?
well, why not? What is time? It's what we make. What we make. What it is.
I mean, you live in the future, so
Do I?
like, what
Oh, I do.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Isn't it Monday where you are?
Yeah, it is Monday morning. Yes.
Well, if you could tell me
Welcome
what the
to Squawk
lottery
Radio
numbers are,
podcast on Monday morning
right?
in Australia.
The only recent sighting that I saw on the computer
Computer.
was that whole thing about the meteor over Los Angeles, that stunt that Red Bull had lit up the sky, and it
That
was
was
kind of
cool.
cool. Yeah, I was like, but that really just looked like a shooting star, kind of,
Yeah,
or like
pretty
a
much.
meteor. Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah. I think if he had changed directions and done a few different things like barrel rolls and cool shit, people might have thought differently and thought, "Wow, cool, UFOs coming to land and shit." But
yeah.
Red Bull
But if
just
they could do
lost.
that,
They dropped the ball on that one. I think they really
yeah,
did.
but if they could do that and get people freaked out, then
Yeah.
I mean, you have to figure that other people could very well be doing this and causing people to think that there are UFOs when there isn't.
Well, the whole thing with drones, like I've seen the way people fly drones. Like even before drones came out, like the way people used to fly remote-controlled helicopters, they used to fly like do these little cool tricks that look like they were, UFO. They flew like UFOs. I'm like, well, why don't you stick a light on this, film it at night, and freak the people out, and just make fake UFO videos?
That's a felony, sir, and you're gonna get 10 to 15 for even talking about it. I'm reporting you. And
do you know how many fake UFO videos there are? I mean, I've been through the rough end of YouTube, and yeah, there's so many.
And we have the video evidence to prove you're gonna do this. I'm sending this to the Australian government, sir. You're screwed.
There's so many fake UFO sightings out there. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, man. Think about it. If someone fakes it and it's a good enough story.
Yeah, but if you use a drone off in the distance,
they're getting so much attention, and they're writing a book and on all these shows, and then there's a movie made. It's like
right.
Yeah.
If the story's good enough and believable enough,
yeah,
they'll roll with it.
Exactly. I mean, what did I see the other day where there was a big blimp going across the sky and all these drones came flying out of this blimp? It was like Attack of the Drones.
What?
You haven't seen that?
No.
Dude, is it an Australian movie?
No, I think it was... I don't want to say...
an Australian alien movie and the fucking shit was horrible.
Yeah, dude, don't watch Australian movies.
What about...
I've told you about that.
What about those Men in Black movies? Because Men in Black International is coming out, I guess.
I love Men in Black.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Right. I could care less, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't too big of a fan of Men in Black.
Nah.
Okay, well, you missed it. It was an Australian thing. It was Amazon.
Bring us the Australian news. Tell us what's up.
There was a blimp that was flying. I think it looks like it's flying through Australia. Somewhere in Australia, and all these drones.
Make it Australian news, right?
Well, and all these drones came popping out of it, and it was for Amazon Prime. It was a feature of drone delivery by blimp.
Okay.
How cool is
this? So you guys still use blimps over there?
Well, apparently Amazon do. And this thing's got like 4 openings like a UFO, and like all these drones just came flying out of it. That must have been freaky to have seen live and not known about it. Wait.
Well, it was probably during the day, and if you've ever seen a blimp, you know what it is. So
yeah, man. Jeez.
I don't feel like that would probably be that freaky to see.
Well, it's a funny looking shaped blimp. Doesn't look like the usual, blimp
Show us on your camera.
on my
Yeah,
camera.
show us, you freaking alien.
Expose yourself. Not literally.
50% fake, 50% real.
Yeah, no one wants
Amazon,
to see Little Finch.
Amazon Bloom, Amazon mothership launches plan of world domination. 50%
I
fake.
almost lost my
What
drink.
the hell? You guys, no, you just guys have to look that up.
He's just ignoring us.
You guys have to check it out. There's something for you to look up.
Right. Okay. That's
Amazon
great.
Blimp.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the news.
No worries. I deliver well. See, this is why I should be the weatherman. What's the weather like? You got a window? Open it.
Oh, boy.
Stealing a Robin Williams
you know
joke.
how we brought up the Men in Black? Did y'all hear about the encounter that somebody had with the Men in Black in the 70s?
In the 70s?
Yeah, it was with so Dr. Herbert Hopkins was visited by a man in one of the evenings of September 1976. The man had a completely bald appearance and he did not have eyebrows or eyelashes. Even he identified himself as a member of a New Jersey-based UFO organization and asked Dr. Hopkins to destroy all documents related to a UFO sighting investigation that he was engaged with. At the end of the conversation, the man commented that he was running on low energy and that he must leave now. That his tone was completely mechanical and passive in nature. As per Hopkins, what had visited him was nothing but an alien in the disguise of a man dressed in black. So I think because of that story, that's how the whole man in black, I guess, story like kind of happened.
Oh, cool. I kind of like drifted off there for a second there because when you said Men in Black, I was thinking of this. You remember? I don't know if you ever saw this in somewhere in England. I think it was the UK. Someone dressed as the Predator and walked around at night. And it took, I don't know how long it took for the police to get there, but they were scared shitless. They didn't know what to do. Did you ever see that?
No.
And that freaked out people in Australia. It's like, haven't they seen any Predator movies before?
Yeah, I'm like,
sake.
I'm
I would have been
thinking
like, cool costume, man. I would have been
right?
like, oh my God, we're being
Hey,
invaded.
wait,
It sounds like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, wait, stop. I said UK, England, not Australia.
Nah, man, I heard Australia.
Whatever. Either way, it's like a joke.
Yeah, I know. It was hilarious. But suppose you didn't see it.
No. Man. We don't watch UK movies over here. I don't even watch American movies, man.
It's all over. Well, it's in that weird part of YouTube. You know where you end up when you start looking stuff up. You start with like something lighthearted like LSD, and then you end up, with ayahuasca, and then you're in the desert with UFOs and aliens.
Wrong Twitter.
Yeah. Nice job. I noticed that and I was like, no. I actually have do you guys remember Blink 182?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay. Are you aware that Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 is like crazy into UFOs?
Oh wow.
Well, so he's taking part in some 6-part UFO History Channel series.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of actually curious about it. I think it may have already... Did it already start? Because I think it was like when I was looking this up earlier this week that I thought it was going to be starting... Oh, no, it starts in May. Okay, I knew it was either already started or was just about to start.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna watch that because that dude has
he's
so
crazy
much
into it.
He's so knowledgeable on that subject, and it's crazy because every time someone tries to like debate him on it or call him on some kind of BS, he makes them look stupid. So it's kind of like the dude is very.
I think he's been heavily criticized for it, and
he has even the Blink 182 guys too would.
Yes.
give him shit for it. It's like, dude, that's him. That's what he believes. Like, he's not
Right.
hurting you. It's like, your music's not that great anyways. Just let him fucking be.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But then on the other hand, you've got the Foo Fighters who openly say that their name is based on, US pilots that were known as Foo Fighters that would chase UFOs, unidentified flying objects. But they don't talk about it a lot. They don't discuss it a lot. They just call the Foo Fighters and play music.
Yeah, but to be fair, when we talk about UFOs, there's definitely a difference between people who associate UFOs with aliens and people who associate UFOs with literally just unidentified flying objects that could just be other spacecraft from other countries or other military or you know what I'm saying? Like there is a difference, and I do think that if military was involved, it doesn't necessarily require it being alien.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like, to me, insects are unidentified flying objects. Because is that a bee or a wasp? I don't know.
Lord, maybe that's where they got the eyes from.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just crazy shit, man.
So yeah, so I guess with this show that they're coming out, they're actually featuring a former military intelligence official named Luis Elizondo, who it says since his resignation has joined DeLong in his aerospace research. And I guess they have a company, I think it's called To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Yeah. And that's pretty interesting that DeLong was able to get him to help, with whatever he was wanting to do. Because, again, not too many people that worked in these bases and things come forward because either they're afraid of what the government might do to them or their families or...
Yeah.
To me, you read stories too, where somebody's like, "Oh, he claims he's a former Area 51, whatever, retired, this, that."
Mm-hmm.
He talks, and then the next day, or the following day, or a month after, the dude's MIA, or he mysteriously dies. So that's just, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it because I think it's pretty interesting.
Well, and they must be pretty confident because one of the statements that he made, this was a quote to radio.com. He said, "I'm thankful to history for giving the To the Stars Academy team of world-class scientists, engineers, and intelligence experts the opportunity to tell the story in a comprehensive and compelling way. I think everyone that watches the show will walk away with questions answered and a feeling of, wow, I get it now."
Yeah,
that's a brave statement.
Again, he wouldn't issue statements like that unless he was that confident in what him and his team are doing. I think it's going to be a pretty damn good show or little mini series that they're going to air with him and whatever people he has doing that. A lot of people don't give him a lot of credit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if one of y'all can check on the Google, but didn't Tom DeLonge also stop a like an underground pedophile ring or some shit like that? Like, he exposed it and all these arrests happened. I think it was, I don't know if it was him, but supposedly some famous musician. I don't know why I think it's him. And that they were saying they think he's crazy because of what he believes, but he doesn't get enough credit for all the good that he's doing.
He exposed a pedophile ring leading to arrests. Yes. Looks like this article I just found from August of 2017. Let's see. Successful arrests were made by the police after his followers banded together to find out the identities of the two men of which DeLonge had posted photographs of. So apparently it was like a thing on Facebook, and he posted it to like his 600,000 followers to try to get those people identified. So through his reach, you know, he was able to find enough people to see it, to get it, you know.
And that's what's crazy about the media. Like, see, stuff like that, they really don't put out there. You know, they do it. No one really hears about it. But yet, when he talks about aliens and stuff like that, oh, look, psycho. He's a nut. He's a this. He's a that. What an idiot. Like, da, 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 da. And I don't know. It's just all negative, you know?
Yeah, I guess, the two guys they caught, they were attempting to kidnap a 15-year-old.
Shit.
So, and so he posted the pictures, which is really cool. And honestly, like, you know, like, I'm not like this huge believer in things like I'm not against the fact that aliens could exist and things like that, but I'm not like one of those people that's like, yes, I believe it. You know what I mean? But these History Channel documentaries in general, I find to be really well put together usually, and I enjoy watching them. So I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Yeah, so that'll be in May. Not sponsored, but it should be, Tom.
No.
Yeah. So that was all I had on it, on everything. I don't know if we missed any good topics.
I think we covered some good ones. I don't know if Finch has any Australian abduction stories that he wants to tell.
No, not really. I don't know a lot about what's going on in Australia, to be honest. But I know Toowoomba's in Queensland
don't want to go to Australia. Is that what you're saying?
Is quite a hotspot for UFOs and stuff. But no, like, no, I'm more into this sort of, video game side of it. My favorite, video games, Aliens vs. Predator and stuff like that. And what other alien games did I play? I can't remember.
Jesus.
Jesus. Well, there's some crazy people in the chat right now. What's going
on? Nobody important. You could just skip all that. But yeah, I mean, if that's all we have, maybe we should call it an evening until next week's episode.
Yep. I guess if people, when they rehear the podcast, they could let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Do aliens live among us? Is there one of these reptilian shapeshifter, non-smart ones that was left here on the United States? Or, I mean, in Australia, I should say, of all places. They're like, let's just dump them in Australia.
Yeah.
I would be curious to hear what other people think, and if they do believe, if they think it's garbage,
Yeah. Well, we're just starting out and seeing how we're going.
And if you're here, you should subscribe, because
yeah, definitely. Probably should have said that at the start, but hey.
Just kidding.
Make sure you like and subscribe and ring that bell and let us know what you think about how we're going with the podcast, and if you believe in UFOs and aliens and all that sort of stuff, if you've had any experiences and all that, and what you think we should talk about in future episodes.
Yep.
Word.
I agree.
Word.
Word.
All right. So until next week, guys, we've been who? Robin, Woody, and Finch.
Robin, Woody, and a reptilian shapeshifter named Finch.
Yeah. And we have been a Squawk Radio podcast, and we hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we will see you next Sunday night and Monday morning for Australians. Take it easy, guys.
Good night.
Aliens.